Hi, everyone. I'm Anna, a 33-year-old software developer who thought I'd marry into the perfect family. Spoiler alert, I couldn't have been more wrong. My mom, Janet, is my rock. She's the strongest person I know. She beat cancer while juggling 3 jobs just to put me through college. One of those jobs was cleaning houses, and I couldn't be prouder of her. Now, she runs her own small cleaning business, offering flexible jobs to women who need them. That's my mom, always turning her struggles into ways to help others. When I first met my mother-in-law, Victoria, at their sprawling mansion in Greenwich, I thought she was just a little particular. "Your mom must be so proud you've moved up in the world," Victoria said, flashing a polished smile. "Actually, she's my inspiration. She built her business from the ground up," I replied. "How quaint. Everyone has to start somewhere, I suppose," she said, her tone dripping with condescension. "Though some of us were fortunate enough to start at the top. I should have recognized the red flags then. My husband, James, isn't like his mother. Babe, don't let her get to you," he'd say after one of her cutting remarks. Mom can be particular. She did the same thing to my college girlfriend because her dad was just a dentist. James' sister, Emma, was more direct. "Oh, that's just how she is about status," Emma told me over lunch. "Nothing's ever good enough." She made my best friend cry at my sweet 16 because her dress was off the rack. "Does she treat everyone like they're beneath her?" I asked. "Just wait for the family gatherings," Emma replied with a sigh. "That's when she really shines. Last Christmas, she made our cousin's wife serve drinks because she used to bartend in college. I vented to my mom about it over Sunday brunch. Honey, some people are so empty inside, they need to make others feel small just to feel big," she said, her voice steady as ever. "I just want things to work out. James is great, and his dad, Robert, seems nice enough." "Robert's nice, but spineless," Emma said when I mentioned it the next day. "Mom controls everything. Parties, charities, their entire social circle. She even picks out his clothes and tells him who he can golf with." "How do you handle it?" I asked. "I moved 3 states away," Emma said, stirring her coffee nervously. "But now that you're here," she hesitated. "Just watch your back. Victoria has a way of making problems disappear. My last serious boyfriend, he got a dream job offer in Singapore after Mom decided he wasn't Miller material. I brushed it off, determined to focus on my new life with James. We were happy in our little bubble, but Victoria's perfect family parties were impossible to avoid. "James, sweetheart, the Memorial Day gathering is coming up," Victoria announced over dinner one evening. "Anna, dear, do try to dress appropriately this time. Those Target dresses you favor are better suited to casual outings." "My clothes are fine, Victoria," I replied firmly. "I dress professionally for my job at a major tech company. Of course they're fine for your usual circles, but we have standards to maintain. The Vanderbilts will be there, and you know how they talk." James squeezed my hand under the table, and I squeezed back, neither of us realizing how that gathering would change everything. "Just be yourself," my mom told me when I called her that night, tears in my eyes. "If she can't appreciate you, that's her loss. You're a successful woman with a good heart." If only I'd known then what Victoria had planned for that party. I was still trying to play nice, still hoping to be accepted into a family that looked so perfect on the outside. But sometimes the prettiest facades hide the ugliest truths. The Miller family's facade was about to crack wide open. The Memorial Day party was in full swing at their estate, with champagne flowing and guests mingling around the garden fountain. When Victoria approached me at the Memorial Day party, she carried something behind her back. Her smile was as polished as ever, but there was a glint of malice in her eyes. "Oh, Anna dear, I have just the thing for you," she said sweetly, drawing the attention of the nearby guests. Slowly, she revealed what she was holding. A stack of cleaning rags, neatly folded and tied with a ribbon, as if they were some sort of prize. The chatter around us died instantly. "Since your mother was so experienced in this area," she began, her voice dripping with mock sincerity, "I thought you might help ensure everything stays spotless during the party. It's in your blood after all." My hands trembled as I stared at her, barely able to process what I was hearing. "Excuse me?" "Well," she continued, unbothered by the growing tension, "your mother did spend years scrubbing toilets, didn't she? Even during her unfortunate medical situation. Such dedication to menial work is admirable." Before I could find my voice, James rushed over. Mom, what are you doing? Just trying to make Anna feel useful, darling, she said, her tone so saccharine it made my stomach churn. We all know she's more comfortable with domestic tasks. Emma appeared at my side, her face a mask of anger. You've gone too far, mother. I'm simply acknowledging her heritage, Victoria replied with feigned innocence. Not everyone can be born into proper society. The words pierced through me like daggers, but I stood tall, my voice rising to match the fury in my chest. My mother beat cancer while keeping me in school, I said firmly. She built a successful business from nothing. What exactly have you built, Victoria? Victoria's smile faltered, replaced by a flash of fury. How dare you speak to me that way in my own home? She turned to James. Are you just going to stand there and let her insult me? Stop it, Mom. You're embarrassing yourself, James snapped. Robert. Victoria shrieked, turning to her husband, who was loitering nearby with a drink in hand. Come control your son. Robert wandered over, looking more annoyed than concerned. Now, everyone calm down, he said, waving his free hand lazily. I'm sure Victoria meant no harm. No harm? James said, his voice sharp. She just insulted my wife and her mother in front of everyone. She's simply concerned about appearances, Robert mumbled, avoiding his wife's glare. Like she was concerned when she sabotaged Emma's engagement, I shot back. The crowd gasped audibly, and all eyes turned to Victoria. Her face turned ashen, her poise cracking. Who told you about that? She hissed. I did, Emma said, stepping forward. Her voice was calm, but her hands were clenched into fists. I told her everything about Thomas's mysterious job offer, about all your so-called interventions over the years. Victoria's composure shattered. Those decisions were for the good of this family. No, Mother, Emma retorted, her voice cold. They were for your ego. Victoria turned to the gathered crowd, her desperation showing. Everyone, please excuse this unfortunate display. Some people simply don't understand our ways. Your ways? I laughed, unable to hold back anymore. You mean manipulation and cruelty. Victoria's face hardened, and she turned to a nearby staff member. Security, she barked, her voice sharp. Please escort my daughter-in-law out. She's clearly had too much champagne. I met her glare head-on. I haven't had a single drink, Victoria, but keep trying to spin this. You've just shown everyone exactly who you are. James took my hand, his jaw tight with anger. We're leaving, he said, but this isn't over. Victoria's voice rose in panic. If you leave with her, don't bother coming back. Gladly, James replied, his voice steady. I choose my wife. As we turned to leave, Emma stepped forward. I'm done too, Mother. Enjoy your perfect little world, alone. We walked out together, leaving Victoria standing frozen, still clutching those ridiculous cleaning rags. Around her, the guests whispered, her carefully crafted image crumbling in front of the very people she had worked so hard to impress. But this was just the beginning. I didn't know it at the time, but Emma was sitting on information that would bring Victoria's entire empire crashing down. After the disastrous Memorial Day party, Emma invited us to her apartment. As soon as we sat down, she opened her laptop, her face a mix of determination and anger. Remember when I worked at Dad's company last summer? She said, clicking through folders. I found something interesting in the accounting records. What kind of records? I leaned in, my heart racing. Emma turned the screen toward us. Look at these transfers. Mom's been siphonning money from Dad's company through fake charity organizations she created. James's eyes widened as he stared at the numbers. $500,000. Where's it all going? Emma snorted. Designer clothes, secret spa trips, and get this, paying private investigators to dig up dirt on anyone who marries into the family. She hired private investigators? I asked, stunned. Oh, it gets worse. Remember my ex, Thomas? She paid his boss to offer him that job in Singapore. She wanted him gone because he wasn't Miller material. Before I could respond, my phone buzzed. A message from my boss popped up. We received an anonymous email claiming you stole proprietary code. My stomach dropped. You've got to be kidding me. She's trying to ruin my career now. Classic move, Emma said, pulling up more documents. She did the same thing to Dad's secretary last year when she thought the woman was getting too friendly with him. James was pacing the room, running his hands through his hair. We need to take this to Dad. Wait, I said, checking my phone again. A text from my mom appeared. Victoria's been posting horrible things about me online. Fake accounts calling me a gold digger who faked cancer for money. Emma's jaw tightened. She's been doing that for years. Look at this. She opened another folder filled with screenshots. Fake reviews tanking businesses, burner phones she uses to harass people, even anonymous complaints filed against family members. James pointed at a bank statement on the screen. She's draining Dad's retirement accounts for all of this. Before we could process the full scope of it, my mom called. Someone just contacted all my cleaning clients, telling them I'm under investigation for theft, she said, her voice trembling. That's it, Emma snapped, grabbing her keys. We're taking this to Michael. Michael was Dad's business partner, and he'd already been suspicious of Victoria's spending for months. He'll help us, Emma said confidently. These fake charities are using the company's tax ID numbers. It's all fraud. Just then, James's phone buzzed. Mom's trying to get Dad to make me sign a postnup, he said, reading the text aloud. Says she doesn't trust me with the family money. More like she doesn't want anyone digging into where the money's going, Emma said bitterly, closing her laptop. She's getting sloppy, but we need to be careful. Too late for careful, I set my voice steady. She's been destroying lives for years. It's time to end it. At Victoria's annual charity gala, our carefully constructed world began to crumble. The night started as usual, lavish decorations, expensive wine, and a crowd of socialites hanging on her every word. Victoria stood at the podium, accepting yet another award for her so-called philanthropic work, when Michael interrupted. I have some questions about the Miller Family Foundation's finances, he said, standing in the middle of the crowd. Victoria froze, her smile faltering. This isn't the time or place, Michael, she said sharply. Actually, it's the perfect place, he countered. Would you like to explain where the $500,000 went? The room went silent as Robert stepped forward, confusion etched across his face. What's he talking about, Victoria? Nothing, dear, she said quickly, her voice trembling. Just a misunderstanding. The only misunderstanding, Emma said, stepping into the room with a stack of papers, is that we trusted you all these years. Victoria's composure cracked as she looked around for support. Security, she barked. Remove them. They won't help you, Michael said, holding up his phone. The FBI is already reviewing the evidence of your embezzlement. Murmurs rippled through the crowd as Victoria gripped the podium, her knuckles white. Robert, darling, don't listen to them. Like you didn't want me to listen when the secretary tried to warn me about missing funds. Robert's voice was cold. Or when our accountant quit suddenly last year. I did everything for this family, Victoria cried. You mean like hiring people to destroy my mom's business? I stepped forward, my voice steady. Or creating fake social media accounts to harass people? Victoria's mask shattered completely. You gold-digging little. Careful, mother, James said, cutting her off. The reporters you invited are still here, and they're still recording. The whispers around us grew louder as her precious social circle began backing away. You can't prove anything, Victoria spat, desperation in her eyes. Actually, Michael said, projecting documents onto the screen behind her, we can prove everything. Robert stared at the evidence, his face pale. Our retirement accounts, empty? I needed that money. Victoria pleaded. For what? Emma demanded. To ruin lives, to buy silence, to destroy anyone who threatened your perfect image. The murmurs turned to open disdain as guests started heading for the exits. Robert, please, Victoria begged, reaching for him. Save it for your lawyer, he said coldly, stepping away. I want a divorce. And the board wants your resignation, Michael added. Effective immediately. Victoria tried one last time. I can explain everything. Like you explained away Thomas, Emma said, her voice breaking. Or Olivia's restaurant, or every other life you've ruined? Comments for part 2. I did it because I love you, Victoria cried. No, James said, wrapping his arm around me. You did it because you're toxic, and we're done. As the police arrived, Victoria's carefully constructed facade crumbled. Her social circle abandoned her, her reputation shattered, and her empire of lies exposed.